did this.
Finally, Hitler relents. Galland, after all, is a national hero with 104 combat victories. He allows the general to form a single squadron of jet fighters.
But by ordering to give the proof that the 262 was an excellent interceptor, I'm sure he had the thoughts, this is better than let him suicide. And the chance to be killed in the last missions, the last 10 missions, was very high. But we didn't pay much attention for it. And in these conditions and in this time, to be killed was nothing for us.
Most of the pilots, 12, were colonels and majors, highly decorated. A squadron of experts. And we decided we have now the responsibility to try to avoid that all our cities are destroyed. We're going to fight to the very end, having the good feeling we have done something without being a leader within the framework of our responsibility as soldiers. And in April 45, on the 18th, I made a very short flight because my plane caught fire during takeoff and crashed. The plane exploded, and for me the war was over.
Steinhoff, once called the handsomest man in the Luftwaffe, is horribly burned. Later he will have 70 operations on his face. 1 week after Steinhoff's crash, Galland is hit from above while shooting down 2 bombers and makes a crash landing on his airfield as it is being bombed. What would have happened if Hitler had allowed the 262 to be used in numbers when it was first available?
If we would have used the Messerschmitt 262 in fighter operation, let's say only 100 of these 1,400 which have been built, I'm certain that we would have destroyed at least 200 in each day. This means the 262 could have made the first wave of attacks and they would have broken the formation. And then our fighters, our prop fighters, could do the rest. The day raids would have been stopped very soon.
The Me-262 is so impressive to aviators that a restored 262 from Steinhoff's commando unit is prominently displayed at the National Air and Space Museum in Washington. The 262 is only one example of an incredible waste of advanced German technology. Others are equally revolutionary. The Arado 234, the world's first operational jet bomber, could have knocked out our 8th Air Force bases in England and stopped the daylight bombing on the ground. But only a handful are produced. Hitler squanders his dwindling production resources on the giant V-2 rocket that is being fired at London with little military effect. The V-2 is the model for today's ICBM. The V-1 flying bomb is the forerunner of today's cruise missile. The fruits of German research also include the Messerschmitt 163, a 600-mile-an-hour rocket plane, the Gotha Flying Wing, the ancestor of our stealth bomber, the tiny Volksjäger jet fighter, to be flown by the Hitler Youth after training in gliders, even a wind tunnel test model of the space plane we are now developing that will fly anywhere in the world in 2 hours. There is also a design for the A-10 rocket, a 2-stage intercontinental missile to hit America. But Germany can't get these advanced weapons into production. Hitler's priorities are one reason. Another is the fact that Germany's scientists and production officers are in separate compartments and don't work effectively together. So the popular mythology of German efficiency and British bumbling proves to be wrong. In production, it is the Germans who are bumblers and the British who are efficient. The world can be grateful today that Germany's bumbling prevented German development of the atomic bomb.
At the beginning of the war, the Germans thought atomic bomb, might be possible, as we did, and as the Americans did, and probably the French. But as the war progressed, the possibilities narrowed down quite a lot.
Professor R.V. Jones was head of Britain's scientific intelligence at the time. He points out that Jewish scientists worked for Germany in World War I, but aren't doing it in World War II because Hitler has exiled them.
Had Hitler taken a different attitude, they might well have stayed in Germany and worked again, but he was so biased, you see, he would have no patience with nuclear physics because so many Jews had been involved. He used to refer to it as Jewish physics, and he didn't want anything to do with that.
If one thinks